Right. 10 November 2025. And today I would like to give you a quick update on the court case. I just came from the Magistrate Court at Pretoria. And the Magistrate Court is right next to the Pretoria Central Police Station. So if you're in the prison, you go around and the police station is connected with the Central Police Station. So you are able to just walk around and go into the Magistrate's Court. So I think all of you have seen the updates that I've been giving regarding Job Sikhala. And what has happened today is dramatic. So much information is coming up. So let's start with what happened in court. So what happened in court is that the lawyer was not there. So Job Sikhala came into court and had not spoken to the lawyer. So I don't know what happened to the three lawyers that were said to be present or that were said to be representing Job Sikhala, because the lawyer that came at the very last moment and was not prepared because they had not briefed. He had not briefed or had not been briefed by Job Sikhala. So when he arrived, it was a quick, he was coming from the judge, talking to the judge, and then he would go over there and he would then talk to Job Sikhala and run back to the judge. He had just come out of another court case, which was right there at the court, and he said that was given the wrong time. I don't know who gave him the wrong time to come to court. So Job Sikhala did not have proper representation today. He was lucky that the case was postponed to Wednesday. So today is Monday. He's coming back to court on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we'll be able to get more detail. What is happening is that Job Sikhala, he has got documents. So there was confusion because the lawyer came so late. There was confusion. So he had to go and ask Job Sikhala, do you have documents? When is your permit expiring or your visitor's visa? And I talked to the lady from the NPA, the spokesperson, asked her twice, does Job Sikhala have papers to be in South Africa? And she said, as far as they're concerned, Job Sikhala has papers. But Home Affairs needs to check if he's got papers. So that is a process that they need to do. They also need to check if he has committed other crimes in South Africa. They also want to check if there's an Interpol or an extradition request from Zimbabwe for Job Sikhala to be sent back to Zimbabwe. So there is a possibility that the Zimbabwe government has made an application for Job Sikhala to be sent back to Zimbabwe. And I don't know if that is the case. You can go and watch what we asked her. She said she still needs to check. And on Wednesday, the bail application is going to be made. It was supposed to be done today, but was not done. Secondly, Mdara Alex Tema, they want to know if he legally got his ID to be in South Africa. Is he legally in South Africa? If it turns out that he did not get out his ID legally, then that's another problem. But as it stands right now, they are ready to do the bail application for Job Sikhala. That is on Wednesday. That is the purpose of going back to court on Wednesday. Then there's the issue of the organization that Job Sikhala represents, which is the NDWG, the National Democratic Working Group. So they had pegged the court, and apparently they formed a new organization called Voice of the People, and it has got a leader called Mahlangu. Mahlangu says he's the vice of Sikhala and is currently acting president of the NDWG. So I don't know if this is correct or not, or if there's been a split in the NDWG, because he says he's the acting president right now in the absence of Job Sikhala. I'll play you the video. I've got it on video, so I'll play it for you so that you can understand. Also, there were some people filming inside the crowd who were not supposed to be filming. So journalists were allowed to film by the prosecutor, but there were people in the crowd who were filming. and it was asked who these people are, and the prosecutor had to stop the case and ask those people to stop filming, who were filming from the crowd. Then we also have the issue of what the NPA says, which is to say they actually don't know what they're going to do on Wednesday. It will depend on the outcome of the investigation. So fingers crossed that Job Sikhala gets bail. If he gets bail, it means there's no case. The problem is we have some explosives. So that is the biggest problem for Job Sikhala. We've got some explosives, and it's his word against the NPS word. Who owns the explosives? Because the explosives do exist. So who owns those explosives? That is the question. Were they planted? Can he prove that they were planted? And that is where the case hinges upon. If it turns out that they had explosives and they can't prove that these explosives were planted, they are in for a very long time. And as I said last week, these guys must get a proper lawyer. They must not get these lawyers that you pick from the streets, or a lawyer that you're told by someone else that lawyer is good. They must get a proper lawyer, a lawyer that knows what they're doing, because if they don't get bail now, they're going to take a long time to get to bail application. They are lucky that this court is fast. And look at what is happening to Nyoka Mabunu. Up to this day, Nyoka Mabunu is not being charged. As we speak, the person who is bringing charges against Nyoka Mabunu has never been seen. So they need to get a proper lawyer. If they've got representatives, and those representatives must not play with what's happening right now. Explosives are a very big issue. And these guys, when they postpone a case, they are postponing it to January and February. So if he doesn't get bail now, it means he's going to be inside until January or February. So they must be very careful at this point. This is the right time to get bail. If they don't get it right now, they'll be in a lot of trouble. And worse, if the Zimbabwe government is applied for extradition, that complicates everything. So on Wednesday, we're going to hear if Interpol has been asked to apply for extradition. At the moment, there was no one from Interpol at the court. So there was no one there. And then in terms of support, Job Sikhala is well supported. The CCC, or former CCC chairperson for South Africa, Trustin Love, was there. He gave a speech. I've already uploaded it. And as I said, the court was full. It was totally full. Even outside, there were people. And it is likely that Job Sikhala will get attention, more attention than Nyoka Mabunu, because his case, it is accepted that Nyoka Mabunu was an activist. So in terms of media, there was no one at the court when Nyoka Mabunu was there. In this particular case, SABC, Newsroom Africa, Sunday World, Sunday Sun, Gambakwe, all these medias were there. There were almost all the media houses. News 24 was there. So many people are following this story of Job Sikhala. Job Sikhala has got a big profile compared to Nyoka Mabunu, and that might help him if the evidence doesn't show that he had the explosives. If the evidence shows that he had the explosives, because they're saying they've got 26 plus 15 items. What are they? How did they explain it? What is in the phones? Remember, their phones which were taken. What is in the phones that they've taken? So all this comes together. In South Africa, they've got equipment. They can go into your phone. They can look at who you phoned. They can listen to what you said when you phoned that person. So it's police in South Africa can go back into phone and listen to the conversation that you had. So that is why it's very important to see what evidence they've got. Otherwise, they would not have arrested Job Sikhala. Like she said, they would not have arrested Job Sikhala. Okay, let's go to the questions. So with all this attention, will he be released? I believe that there's a almost 70% chance of Job Sikhala being released. He doesn't own the car. He was a passenger. He's visiting. So he's got a good chance of being released. If there's footage that shows him going to the car with nothing arriving in the car and someone else planting something. Remember, if there's someone planting something, they can see it. So if there's evidence that someone planted something, they've got the phone of the people who planted. So remember that everyone is known. If Job Sikhala says someone planted and this is the person I went to see, this is where I was calling this person, they can trace that person. So that is why the investigation is taking so long. It's ongoing. And then Nkoma Mobo says he will be granted bail. I think so. I also think 60% he will get bail. He is a good candidate for bail and he's a lawyer. So Job Sikhala is a lawyer. Remember, we say he wants to be represented, but Job Sikhala is a lawyer. He's able to stand and talk. Unfortunately, here it's not about whether you know what you're doing or not. You have to have the necessary relationships inside the court if you want to be released. If you don't have the relationships, your time will be longer. And that is why the relationships is better than anyone else. Then let's go to other things. How much is bail? Why don't you speak to Sikhala people? Pardon. I speak to them every time. I was speaking to them throughout. Like now, I was speaking to everyone. So if you want to ask a question, I'll ask. They don't know. Remember, they're also sitting in the gallery. They don't know. They don't know what's going on. And then Chidzambarafuta, Gambakwe, that is Yokai Mupondama. Yokai Urundi Farira Sngeti. Right, I think this is covered. Everything here is covered. And then I believe in Mkoma Isaac to say Animunyama. It's very unfortunate. Job Sikhala was not supposed to go and meet a person by himself. He was supposed to send one of his assistants to go and meet the person. The reason why he went there is because the meeting kept being postponed. So they kept postponing the meeting. He should not have done it himself. That was very unfortunate for him to do that. But politicians get arrested. Like literally, right now, Heche has been arrested for nothing. They just came to his house and arrested him. So if you're a politician, you get arrested, especially in these countries. The advantage that Job Sikhala has got is that he is a prominent figure. He's a real prominent person. He's known within the political establishment of South Africa, of Zimbabwe, of Zambia. He just came from watching President Ian Khama. He was together with President Ian Khama. He's well known in Mozambique. He is known in South Africa. He's a prominent figure. So it's not like the ordinary people that you can arrest who talk on YouTube or on WhatsApp. He is a very, very big deal here in South Africa. Job Sikhala is like the next thing to someone like Chamisa. It's like Chamisa coming here and getting arrested. It will be a big thing. So that is what is happening with Job Sikhala. Is a big thing. Or let's say Hopo Chilingono was to come here and get arrested. It's a big thing. This guy is not an ordinary person. In fact, if I was the lawyers, I was going to push this case to the High Court if they refused to grant bail. That will make the case go away. Yeah, that's what I believe. The case will go away if they go to the High Court. So let's see what happens on Wednesday. If they're denied bail, they still have to go to the High Court and deal with it over there. Okay, I think I've covered everything. Let's see if there's another question. Chikafu chekuremand cheku SH chakanaka here kuna Sikhala. Yes, they don't have your own food. So you mix, they bring food as a whole, and then people take from there. So it's like a buffet. Did you answer iwewe kuti urikite ku Pretoria? I live in two places. My family lives in one place, I live in another place. I travel up and down. When I need to be in one city, I can stay in that city. I also am going to be living in Zimbabwe. So you'll be able to see me. And I don't manyisa. Only manyisa. Oh, manyani in First Street. Oh, manyani in Wenda Jason. Only manyisa. Time yako yoku manyisa mundu. Yapa duze. So I think I've covered everything. I would like to thank all of you for watching. I'll be back here later on. But what I will do is I'll now publish the remaining videos that we've got. We've done Trust Njovu. We'll do the Vice President of Sikhala. Then we'll do other people that talk to us. There are a lot of people who talked. The party has got no structure. It's clear to me that the party is no structure. It's unfortunate that the National Democratic Working Group is a loose organization with no structure. Job Sikhala would do very well if he had an organization with a structure. Right now, we'll be able to see his people speaking. I don't believe that they have spoken. We'll be able to see that people coming to South Africa to give him support, to arrange lawyers. At the moment, there was no one, except for the family of Mdara Tema. They're the ones who were running around. And it was sad to see the lawyer not there. You could see the shock that Job Sikhala had when he had to answer the judge himself. So when he first arrived, he had to answer the judge himself. And I said, I don't know why the lawyer is not here, but we've already instructed the lawyer. So that was very sad and unfortunate. Right. Gambakwe Media was there to Madziwa. Yes. Gambakwe Media was there. There is no media in Zimbabwe which can cover you. Which has we want to dare what I need a coverage. But the day when you need coverage, you're going to see who is going to give you coverage. It's Gambakwe. He said he can represent himself. Yes, but he's not a South African lawyer. He doesn't know the process of the South African law. So a lawyer from Zimbabwe, if they come here, they don't know the section to cite. They don't know what to do next. So they've never been in a court in South Africa. But the basic things, like you're saying, he demanded to know why the media was in the court. And when the judge said, explained himself, he then said he wanted to see the document. So he's able to question like a lawyer. And it's important because they don't take him for granted. But it's not about what you do. It's about the relationships. You must have relationships in South Africa. If you want to get out of jail, have a big lawyer that can phone people. Have someone that is able to make things move. Don't have a lawyer that doesn't even know which court you are in. You get it? If you got a lawyer who doesn't know which court you are in, tight, you need relationships. Kunok is not corruption, it's relationships. You have to have relationships. Because Zimbabwe, you can just take out $20 and say, I'm Dara, but not to go, not in South Africa. Kunok, you have to have relationships. All right, I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and I'll see you guys a little bit later. And I'm so sleepy. I just finished my shoot and came straight here, and now I have to rest. See you later, and a good day to you all.